Number 10 Avengers: Endgame. Given this franchise's widespread impact and universal success throughout the decade, this list would not be complete without at least one entry from the MCU. Black Panther proved that superhero movies have the power to break barriers and break into the best picture race, but if we have to single out one movie that epitomized why this cinematic universe is a cinematic achievement, it would have to be Avengers: Endgame. For over 10 years we watched the Infinity Saga unfold, and this tour de force marked its epic culmination. Finding just the right balance of old and new, the film brings everything full circle with laughs, tears and thunderous applause. As the credits roll, it doesn't feel like you've merely watched a movie, it feels like an important milestone.
And I am Iron Man.
Number 9, Arrival. The 2010s proved to be a breakout decade for director Denis Villeneuve, who explored a wide variety of different styles and genres. It was his foray into sci-fi, however, that fascinated us the most. Arrival warrants comparison to the likes of Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick, what maintains a signature that belongs to Villeneuve alone. When some spacecraft arrived on Earth, it's up to one linguist to decipher the reason. The film keeps the audience guessing until the very end, which is every bit as poignant and inspiring as one would hope. Where immigration and cultural divide were among the most prevalent topics, Arrival is an absorbing parable that demonstrates the importance of communication and listening to others.
Now that's a proper introduction.
Number 8, Django Unchained. For 3 decades, Quentin Tarantino has remained one of the industry's most distinctive and exhilarating voices. Among the 3 films he made during the 2010s, Django Unchained was arguably his most audacious outing as well as his most fun. Like a master chef, Tarantino combines several ingredients that most people wouldn't dare put into one pot. Who is Tarantino, adding his own special seasoning, though it comes out as a perfect fusion of different tastes. The film is an outrageous satire, not unlike Blazing Saddles, a blaxploitation flick not unlike Shaft, and a spaghetti western not unlike, well, the 1966 film Django. It's also an effective buddy picture with Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz creating the most memorable western duo this side of Butch and Sundance.
Gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Number 7, Hereditary. This decade was a horror renaissance, but no other movie disturbed us to the core quite like Hereditary. A supernatural horror drama such as this easily could have come out in the late 60s or 70s, drawing parallels to classics like Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist and The Omen. At the same time, Hereditary still feels like a product of the 2010s, touching upon mental health and trauma with a modern sensibility. Toni Collette dominates the screen as a woman who's either being torn apart by an evil presence or the madness within, whereas so many other horror films literally jump out at the audience. Director Ari Aster lures us in with tense foreshadowing and subtle scares, leaving us completely unprepared when insanity takes over.
You tried to kill me.
I love you.
Why did you try to kill me?
Number 6, The Wolf of Wall Street. Although it's mainly set in the 80s and 90s, the story of Jordan Belfort feels all too relevant in today's world. We live in an era where big business reigns supreme. In Belfort's eyes, the little guy is so insignificant that we never even see the countless people he scammed over the years. Instead, Martin Scorsese's electrifying biopic focuses on how a Wall Street mogul sold his soul in exchange for the American dream, of fancy mansion, luxury vehicles, and so much cash you could drown in it. In other words, greed in the American dream has become one and the same. Leonardo DiCaprio portrays Belfort as a con artist who's beyond despicable, yet so charming we'd still probably buy his pin.
Will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking dies!
Number 5, Inception. If the 2000s put Christopher Nolan on the map, the 2010s solidified his status as a master of filmmaking. Interstellar was perhaps Nolan's most heartfelt film to date. But Inception opened our minds to bold new ideas. Now more than ever, Hollywood seems reliant on established properties to pack theaters. Inception stood out as an anomaly, an original standalone story that not only excited us, but also challenged the audience to think. We've all heard the phrase, a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Well, Inception is a heist thriller wrapped in a sci-fi extravaganza, inside an enigma. It's a film that triggers the imagination and still invites analysis 10 years later. In short, this is the stuff that dreams are made of.
Because building a dream from your memory is the easiest way to lose your grasp on what's real and what is a dream.
Is that what happened to you?
In Christopher Nolan's science fiction parable, Interstellar, Earth is dying, and a team of astronauts searches the universe for a new home for the human race. The film follows a team of NASA astronauts, searching the stars for another planet where humans might be able to relocate, after climate change has made Earth almost uninhabitable. Interstellar is a mind-blowing movie with fantastic visuals, interesting storyline, and the movie will keep you interested till the end. The whole idea of relativity is beautifully shown, and if you watch the whole film in 3D, then you're in for a treat.
Don't!
Number 4, Moonlight. Moonlight signified a major shift in Hollywood both for indie filmmaking and representation. The word diversity has been thrown around a lot during the early 21st century, and for good reason, whereas many movies are obvious in how they address race, gender, and sexuality, though, nothing has ever spelled out in Moonlight. This Best Picture-winning drama requires its audience to look closer, making them see that there are multiple sides to every human being. A drug dealer can actually be an affectionate father, a juvenile delinquent can actually be a scared little boy, trying to survive in an unaccepting world. Everyone is forced to fit the mold they were born into through love and understanding, however our protagonist may come to embrace his true identity. Number 3, Mad Max, Fury Road. In today's blockbuster landscape, audiences are used to seeing movies with excessive CGI, overly complicated plots and repetitive action. Fury Road was the complete opposite. Emphasizing practical effects and stunts, keeping the story as simple as possible, and putting so much thought into the composition of the action, that individual stills could hang in a museum. While not exactly a sequel or reboot, Fury Road takes the best aspects from George Miller's previous Mad Max films, and pushes them into overdrive. The best way to describe the film is the climactic chase of the road warrior sustained for 2 hours. Although that sounds incredibly straightforward, the film's emotive characters, inventive production values, and high-octane direction set a new standard for the genre. Number 2, Get Out. Hereditary may have been scarier, but Get Out challenged preconceived notions about horror and film. It's by no means the first movie to blend horror with dark comedy and satire, but Get Out made us think about current racial and social tensions in ways we never anticipated. And, in doing so, it attained heights rarely seen within the genre, and this all came from the mind of a former MAD-TV cast member.
Cool. Good to see another brother around here.
Sorry, man.
Get out! Yo! Rose?
Mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Number 1, The Social Network. When The Social Network hit theaters, Facebook was still a relatively new phenomenon. Jump ahead 10 years, and it's impossible to imagine the world without this social media platform. Together, director David Fincher and writer Aaron Sorkin shaped the story of Mark Zuckerberg into a modern Shakespearean drama. The question is, whether this is a story of triumph or tragedy. It's hard to say, since Facebook's story is far from over. For now, though, this film depicts a legendary origin story that was relevant in 2010, and remains very much a part of the zeitgeist of 2019.
Site got 2,200 hits within 2 hours?
22,000.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WTWN, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.